G'day folks. Well, it's bloody hot here now. It's 36 degrees Celsius. Only forecasted 29. Anyway, that's what it is. I've got it all back together and I've had it running. And it's still breathing out of the vent, out of the breather box down through the bottom here. It's chuffing when it's idling. I'll show you at the end of the video, guys, because if I do it now, the smell sort of hangs around for a bit, even though I've got my little fan there. So I'll show you at the sort of towards the end of the video. I'll do that. All right, so it's looking like I think I found the problem. You know how I said the distributor was, or the cap was kicked up and I thought it was advancing because it had screwed around a little bit. Well, I had a couple of guys mention that it wouldn't advance when the cap was like it, and it's true. I got thinking about it and it won't do it because you've actually got to physically turn the distributor to get it to, advance. It's not the cap. That sort of affects the, what do they call that, the dwell or the phasing, I would say, of the timing. Because I did check that when I first put the MSD box in and I read the instructions. They said just to make sure that when the distributor or the rotor button comes around, it wants to be on the leading edge of the terminal on the distributor, if you understand what I mean, not on the trailing edge, because what happens is, or what can happen in high revs, it actually can jump, if it's on the trailing edge, and it can jump to the next, onto the next cylinder, and we don't want that. So I did drill a hole and I did check all that, and it was on the leading edge of it. So yes, so that would have been the cause of the breaking down, well, potentially the breaking down. I did run a reasonable plug gap. It was around 40 thousandths. Now I've come back to 28 thousandths. We've made sure the cap was, back on properly. And we reassembled it all. And yeah, it's still chuffing out of the breather. Now, this is where it gets interesting, guys. I got Googling and reasons for blow-by, okay? And one of the scenarios was that you can have too much oil in the engine. Well, I came over and checked it. Bugging me dead. I had, well, I'll show you. I have drained the oil out and tested it, guys. But I'll show you where it was on the mark. I've got it fairly low at the minute. I've actually pulled a fair bit of oil out of it. I pulled about 4 litres out. But, if you see here, guys, it was about there. About there on the mark. Now that's 2 litres of oil to get it back down to that sort of high mark or the full mark. Now after learning that I had full oil, well, it turns out it doesn't like it. Apparently what happens is the crank can hit the oil or the over full mark or that extra oil that you've got in there and just foam it up and splash it up underneath the pistons and cause all sorts of trouble. I heard one fella said that it can cause a hydraulicking effect, and that's looking like what's happened, guys. It seems like now it wasn't tune related, because there was no egging on the gaskets. I thought it might have lifted the heads. It may have done, because there was oil in under there, but look, it's looking like we've got some broken rings inside the engine. So I'm going to obviously going to have to pull the engine. But once I've got the engine out, I want to do a leak down test. But I don't have, I'll show you guys. I hope this is all coming in my head on the video. I've got one of these, well, this is a spark plug, and this is actually a little, you hook it up to the airline on your compressor, and when I was fiddling around with valve springs with the heads on, it keeps a valve, when you pressurise it, it keeps a valve from dropping through. Well, I'm going to do a little leak down test to see sort of which cylinder is causing me all the issues. So you'll notice the difference, I suppose, with the air, like the noise. But I'll do a video on it, guys. I want to show you step by step all the issues that or the testing that I have once we pull this engine. It's a bloody bastard. Sorry for the language. It's thrown me, but it was my fault again. You know, it's just the stupid things that have really cost me dearly on this whole project that I've been doing in the last 5 years. Number one, well, I'll just name a couple. I had that kinked boost or kinked wastegate line, and that caused an overboosting. Obviously blew a head gasket there. This is the reference line for the Aeromotive fuel reg. Well, this wasn't picking up a signal, so we were getting a lean out there. So it's just little things that I've had issues with that have cost me, you know, a lot of energy and money at the end of the day. So I'm hoping the pistons are okay. They are forged pistons in this, and I'm hoping it's just like a set of rings, and we might be able to do a home backyard hone on it and be able to sort of go again. But God, I'm learning the hard way, guys. I really am. Now, I want to explain how I think it got too much oil in it. My drain box on my turbo is around 2 litres. It's looking like, from when I can sort of remember when I first started it up, I never had the scavenge pump hooked up. Now this is crazy stuff, but obviously it's filled up the drain box, and I've shut it down. The next day I've come in, wired it all up, and I've gone to check the fluid, the oil level, and it was reading low because there's obviously 2 litres plus of oil in the drain box. I've topped it back up, and then I've got the system working, so she's all of a sudden overfilled it and caused all that issues, guys. It's a bloody shame. I'm a bit kicking myself over it, but at the end of the day, there is a silver lining. At least at this stage, it wasn't tune related, because at the end of the day, it was conservative timing. Yes, it was throwing hot air into it, but it looks like, well, the water methanol was working. So anyway, that's what it's looking like now. So I'm going to have to pull the engine and go through the notions, but it'll give me a chance to check the bearings, especially on the con rods. I won't touch the mains. I can leave all that. The camshaft can stay in, so we don't have to do a full tear down. It's just basically rods out and rehome, some new rings. Hopefully everything's okay in that department. Gap them again, because I do run a 28 thousandths top and second ring, and we'll go for it. We'll go again on it, guys. It's bloody nuisance though, but that's what it is. That's what it is, and I'm going to suck it up and get on with it. So it may be, I'm guessing, a month, 6 weeks before I sort of get it going again, but that's okay. I can live with that. And like I said, it's all part of learning. It's the school of hard knocks. That's what it is, the school of hard knocks. Goodness me, I don't know. That's life, but I'll pick myself up and I'll go again like I've done before. And I hope you guys are enjoying this, because this is real hands-on stuff. I don't pretend to be the big expert on everything, but I'm having a bloody go, guys. I'm really getting out there and pushing myself and learning. And it seems to be the stupid stuff that's costing me all these setbacks. It really is. So it's what it is. That's life. Move on. And I'll get it, don't worry guys. I'll keep putting vids up. I'm not be done with it, you know. I'm just going to move forward and embrace this little episode. So it's all good. Looking like I mightn't have to put my intercooler back on. I'll still run. I'm in the process of getting my oil sandwich plate, those little fittings welded on. We're going to fit all that up. I'll show you all that too. So I've done some porting on that. I'll show you all that so we keep some nice flow going, and we'll sort it out, guys. Don't worry. All right, I'm going to fire it up. So and I'll show you that, guys. So until the next vid, I'll catch you later. So.